You recording now?
I'm about to.
Pardon me?
Are you ready for me to?
Yeah, let's go back into open session.
Is anybody in the hall?
Thank you. Let the record show that we are out of closed session, that we went into to consider the, union proposal with the POAM for, their collective bargaining. And I would ask if anybody has a motion in reference to put on the floor in reference to that negotiations.
Want me to read them?
Pardon me?
Want me to read a motion?
Well, just a minute here. No, I don't. I would prefer that either Mr. Erickson or Mr. McCormick do that. And just from the standpoint that
Sure.
with you and Mr. Beggs being on the sheriff's reserve, I don't have to, but I think it's clearer if we separate that.
Yep.
You know, that comes from somebody that's not on the reserve. Don't take offense to that, Mr. Hardy.
Not at all. But to be clear, we're volunteers, we're not part of the bargaining unit or any.
You're volunteers, exactly, but you're sworn officers.
Yep, agreed.
You know, so I err on the side of caution.
I think it's a good plan.
Mr. McCormick, do you have a motion for us?
Motion 2026-08 to ratify the total tentative agreement previously ratified by the POAM Oceana County Sheriff's Department Division, and authorize the board chair to sign the successor collective bargaining agreement upon approval as to form by the county attorney.
Mr. Erickson?
Support.
We have a move by Mr. McCormick and a support by Mr. Erickson. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. McCormick?
Yes.
Mr. Erickson?
Yes.
Mr. Hardy?
Yes.
Mr. Beggs?
Yes.
And Mr. Walker?
Yes. Public comments? Are there any, commissioner comments that they want to make?
I was just gonna mention that the Council on Aging tapped me to serve, not just as my role as a county commissioner, but as a business owner that deals with large buildings and large buses. So it's just an advisory position. I just wanted a broad scope of people there to serve, and so it's just an advisory committee to help them kind of form a vision for a building and go from there. So
I was wondering when I first saw that they were going to be putting up a transportation building there, if they would reach out to you. Your name came to mind to me, reach out, because there's nobody in this area that could better help them with that. You've worked on their buses and you know what it's all about.
Yep.
So I'm glad to see you doing that. Anything else? Mr. Hardy?
No, I don't have anything to add.
Mr. McCormick?
No.
Mr. Erickson?
Yes, we've had the interviews for the Oceana County Medical Care Facility started this morning, out of a pool of, I think, maybe 26 resumes that was scored by a group of people that did look at those resumes, and we're interviewing the top 8 candidates to my knowledge right now, if they all accepted the interview. Those interviews will be tomorrow also, with hopes that we'll be calling for a second interview next week with selected individuals. I was unable to be at those interviews today. I will be unable to be there tomorrow, as I'm going to Grand Rapids for the Michigan Association of Fairs and Exhibitions annual conference to take care of the details for our upcoming fairs. So next week we'll know a lot more about our administrator at the medical care, and I'd like to add that Tracy's been very helpful. She's fielded questions from the board chair, and I got good feedback there. So hopefully we'll be able to wrap this up and have a new administrator in place within a few weeks.
Sounds good.
You know, and I where we're at with the Crystal Valley Dam, as you could see, I'm sure we'd had a much greater group of Valley people here if we had, gotten the word out further, but Kyle Ullman, I think,
Did you give Joseph his name?
I got it. Yep.
Oh, you got it?
Yep.
Okay. I'm glad we had a discussion about Crystal Valley Dam, and I'm glad we're gonna look at, the items we talked about with that. Let's just see where it's at. So,
I'm glad they're not forcing us to jam it in to be done within the next 6 weeks or something. So,
I just wanted to tell the board members that, Tracy and I and Joel have been working on a proposal to send to the attorney to clarify the deputies for the elected people in the prosecutor's office, in the sheriff's department, and in the other 4 offices, drain commissioner, treasurer, clerk, and register of deeds office, and their wages. And we know we have to do something. It's kind of unusual that the Board of Commissioners can only have their wages adjusted every 4 years, and the other elected people can have them done every year.
However, if this new policy that Matt provided makes it so that for the elected and the chief deputies, you have to make a decision prior to November or after January 1.
Yeah.
So that little stint, you're not able to make any changes to their wages.
Yeah,
So-
but, we are working very diligently on a way to handle that's equitable for everybody, and that it's my thoughts that Tracy is going to pull together the thoughts Joel and I talked about. Joel and I can only talk to Joel about it, the head of the personnel. I can't even talk to the personnel committee, being 5 of us. But I think Joel is on board with this concept, and we're going to take it to the attorney and get an opinion from the attorney before we come back, and we'll probably have another Zoom meeting with the attorney, to look at his legal advice on it, and if we have any problems, or what do you think? We're working on it. There are department head that want us to do this immediately and want it done. Tracy's had a safe statement. Or you want it done yesterday. I'm erring on the side of caution. I want to work through this, and I think we have a proposal that we can live with for a long time.
well, and anything that we do, we can make retroactive to
Yeah,
Correct.
it will be retroactive. It will be retroactive.
not out any money.
Tracy is, I can't tell you how many hours Tracy has probably put in this. She's probably tired of hearing me on the phone, or
I don't mind.
Yeah, and she probably sees an email come from me, and she probably says, "Not another one." But we're trying very, very hard to get it right, and Joel has been a good asset in looking at this too. Joel, I have the pleasure of having 2 people on the board. Actually, all 4 of the other board members are businessmen who have had or do have employees now, and can look at these things from strictly a business owner's perspective, and it makes a big difference.
It's always good to include the lawyer.
Yeah. So, but that it's my hope that for our next meeting, I don't want to keep you here forever during those meetings, but my hope that we can work out a proposal.
Yeah.
I think it's good. You guys will agree with it, I'm sure.
Pardon me?
I think it's good. I think everybody will be on board with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too bad we can't talk about it. Sorry.
I do have one thing,
Yes.
Bob. I just wanted to let the board know that we had offered the maintenance position to an individual. That
Number
person,
3.
that person was supposed to start on January 5th. Jessica reached out that week before because we hadn't heard anything back, and found out that the individual decided to stay at their current employment because they were able to get everything they had asked for. So, we did end up, going with another individual, and Jessica's going to be talking to him on Friday, so I'll keep you posted on that. But I just want to say thank you to Joel for sitting in on those interviews. It was good to have his insight in there too.
Not the first time we were a bargaining chip, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's the risk you run.
Yeah.
I'm sure every one of you people in business have seen that happen before.
More than once.
I can say though that the individuals that we did interview, any one of them I think would have been a good candidate for
I
us.
was impressed
because
with the response.
yes, they all had
Good.
The number
some-
and the quality.
yeah, some sort of background in maintenance or HVAC or building or any of that kind of stuff. So it was a good group.
Super.
And we had, gotta be careful how I approach this, but we had one of the people in our building department hospitalized for a while, and nobody knew how long that person was going to be off. So there was a mad scramble to find somebody to fill in for that person. Tracy told me yesterday that he's been released by his doctor and he's gonna come back. With that being said, I asked Tracy that pick a time. We don't wanna get into this right away, but our building officials are contract employees. I think we need to ask each one of those building officials to give us a name of one or two people who will fill in for them in their absence, because the building official has to pay them. They're not gonna be our employee. They have to pay them themselves because they have to provide that service that they have a contract for. And I don't think it's a good system that we have now that Brooke stepped right up to the plate and she called around and found somebody who could fill in for that building official, but she's our employee and he's in that person's gonna be paid by the contract employee. The contract employee should have something to say about who he's paying. But I think it's unreasonable. Unreasonable is not the right word. I don't think it's a good thing for us not to have backup people on file.
No, not a good idea.
Unless anybody feels differently about that, I think Tracy is, not right away, but Tracy is gonna work towards that at some time. You know, we're not changing their contracts at all, we just wanna know who you want to have come in and fill in for you when you're gone. And it might be something as simple as if they're gone on vacation and there's a big emergency that comes in that somebody needs to do one inspection. Well, if our building official is in, California or gone someplace, we need to know, who do you want to do this?
With the changes that you made to all of the contracts, there's only one contract that we have in place right now that the inspector has to pay the fill-in. The rest of them, because of the way that you changed how they're getting paid, because they're getting paid by inspection. So each inspection they do, they get paid for that. So they're not getting paid up front. So, you see what I'm saying?
But that money is still coming out of what that contract inspector would normally make.
Yes, correct.
It's coming out of the
Yeah,
pot
out of
when,
that contract.
out of the 50% that would be paid at the final inspection for the job.
Mhm.
He's gonna have 50% minus the inspections that were done by
Correct.
somebody else.
He wouldn't get that money.
He wouldn't get that money, so that's why I say, and it needs to be somebody who these contract inspectors are comfortable with. We don't wanna bring in one name that came up. I told Tracy, don't do that. So, is there anything else, under, elected people's comments? Public comments? Gentlemen, can we stand adjourned? Tracy?
Fine to me.
Joseph, thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
Joseph.